Welcome to the Friday Five Lunchtime Edition, 5 quick questions on the Bible. Let's see how you do. Now this edition is specifically the where do you find that? In what book of the Bible do you find that edition? So I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions. You tell me in what Bible, in what book of the Bible you find it. Number 1, where do you find the phrase or the concept of a new heaven and a new earth? A new heaven and a new earth. And it's toward the end of the Bible. Yep, it's the book of Revelation. No S on that book, and it is Revelation 21. John looks up and he says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. Also I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So this beautiful picture of heaven and earth coming together, the boundary between the two collapsing with the return of the King and the restoration of all things. Number 2, that is going to be the story of David and Goliath. All right, you know the story probably, but where do you find it? If you had to flip to it, what book would you go to? Yeah, it's going to be 1 Samuel. So Samuel, it starts out with the birth of Samuel there, the prophet, the judge, and he anoints King Saul. And then after Saul comes King David. But in 1 Samuel, we see that story. 2 Samuel is about the reign of David. We go into 1 and 2 Kings. First Kings, we see the reign of Solomon, David's son. And after Solomon, we have the divided kingdom. So Saul, David, Solomon, united kingdom, and then the divided kingdom. But the story of David and Goliath, 1 Samuel. All right, number 3, a time to kill. Where do you find that phrase? A Time to Kill. There was a John Grisham book entitled A Time to Kill. In fact, let me read the whole passage to you. You tell me where it's at. There is an occasion for everything and a time for every activity under heaven. A time to give birth, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to kill, and a time to heal. And it goes on. Well, that is the book of, it's one of the wisdom books. Put it that way. Yep, it's the Ecclesiastes. And that's Kohelet writing that. And he's on his search, a journey to understand the meaning of life. Number 4, let's see here. Where do you find the Great Commission? The Great Commission from Jesus. And it's in one of the Gospels. Do you know the book? Matthew. Very good, if you got that. And if you didn't, it's a great passage to memorize. Matthew 28, 19 and 20. And he says, go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey all the things I have commanded you. And remember, I am with you always to the end of the age. Matthew 28. And the last one, where do you find the event of Pentecost, where the Holy Spirit is poured out upon the church? And this would be after the ascension of Jesus. And so what book do you think that's in? It's the first book that comes after the Gospels, the book of Acts. So it's Acts chapter 2. Pentecost is a significant Jewish festival. It's 50 days, Pentecost, 50 days after Passover. And we see the Holy Spirit is poured out upon the believers. Peter gives this great sermon, and over 3,000, or I think it's 3,000 people come to faith and are baptized. And we see the Spirit at that point relating to God's people in a unique, different way in salvation history. In the past, but prior to that, we see the Holy Spirit coming upon people at various times. But now, from this point onward, those who come to faith in Jesus Christ are indwelt by the Spirit. And at Pentecost, we see the Holy Spirit coming upon the church, empowering the church as it expands outward to the end of the world. All right, thanks for joining us. Let me know how you did in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you would, don't forget to subscribe. That's always a help. Thanks.